Hi class, I just wanted to give an update on the remainder of our course together. We are nearing the end and don't have a lot left, so I wanted to go over a few things that are important as you are working towards your final projects. I have almost completed grading for the previous two modules, and I did want to give some feedback on the forum. I did not link the grading rubric in the forum this time, but it did mention that I was using the standard forum rubric. However, no one followed the rubric. No one had citations or references from outside sources or even from the companies that they had gotten their examples for. And most people's links did not meet the rubric. So I graded on a curve. I took the rubric out and just did a simple grading format and graded everybody higher than what you would have gotten on the rubric. I do want to remind you though that the rubrics are there to make it easier for you to know how to get a high grade. Without a rubric, sometimes it can be difficult to know what it is that I'm looking for in your assignment. So I did throw it out for this time, but I just want to remind you, especially on the last assignments that are due right now, the case study and the final project, I will be following the rubric. So please do not turn anything in moving forward unless you have really looked at that rubric. So for this today, all you have to do is a quiz in Module 10. I also wanted to make a note, I did mention this before, but I had set my due date times at 10 a.m. on Monday and Friday, but I am accepting work all day on Monday and Friday and not counting it late. I was trying a new thing to see if a earlier due date submission time worked better, but the feedback I've gotten so far is that nobody likes it. So if you have some other thoughts that you want to share with me on a 10 a.m. due date time, please reach out and let me know. But I do want you to know no one has gotten deducted points from turning things in anytime on Monday or Friday. So for Module 10, make sure that you get that quiz done. That is due today. And then on Friday for Module 11, you actually do not have any work due for this Friday. You are being shown all of the stuff for this case study that you will be doing. So please make sure that you are reading through this. Is the case study right here, a video on it. The case study PDF is linked right here. This is also another resource from JV Media, which did the case study Holistic Holiday at Sea. This right here gives you the format that you need to make sure your case study follows. These headings should be headings in your paper. If you're not sure how to set up your paper properly, please go to Course Home and look at Al Purdue, and there are guidelines for a properly academic formatted paper. But these should be headings in your case study that you turn into me, so we make sure that you're covering all the parts of a case study. Here's a video that's really helpful in completing a case study analysis and what that looks like and the parts that are needed to do it. And then finally, there's a section in your textbook that also goes through a case study analysis and what that looks like. Please make sure that you look through and watch these resources before turning in your paper. So as a reminder, this Friday, you have no work due. I want you to use this time to be working on this case study. So next Monday, February 23rd, yes, 23rd, this is when that case study is due. You also have a quiz over some of the other new material on this module, and then the case study is due next Monday. As a reminder, this is going through all the resources, relinking the PDF of the case study, going over what you should be doing before you even start on this, and then I really need you to look at this. This is the grading rubric right here that I will be grading this paper by. So if your paper is under 700 words, you will not get full credit. If your paper does not have a reference list and support and citations from the textbook and other publications, you will not get full credit. If your paper is not written in a professional tone, meaning in third person and free from grammar errors, you will not get full points. So please do not submit this paper unless you have looked at this after you wrote it and made sure that it meets the grading rubric. All right, so after Monday, when your final case study is due, we're moving on to Module 13. Once again, you have no work due this next, that Friday, okay? What I want you to be doing is looking through all of these resources and making sure that you are really preparing for your pitch presentation. You have the benefit of being able to record your presentation, which means that you can take several takes. You should have practiced giving your pitch on your final project multiple times before you record it. Make sure that you look at these examples of really good pitch presentations and what they look like. Some examples on really good pitch decks. So that's the PowerPoint or deck that you're designing that goes along with your presentation. So that Friday is nothing is due, but you are to use that time to practice. And then we have just our final module due, module 14, and that due date is a Sunday by midnight, March 1st, that all of this needs to be turned in. So as a reminder, you will be turning in right here your course project, which is the written portion of your final marketing plan, including also the file that is your pitch deck. So this will be 2 files that you're submitting right here. And then right here for your presentation is the video portion. And when you go to this, there is a hyperlink right here for ScreenPal that you will click on. And when you click on that, you will see my introduction video. And then there will be a place for you to add your video. This is also one that please take a look at the grading rubrics. They are linked in this module. So this one right here is for the pitch presentation. So this is how I'll be grading you on the video portion of what you are doing. So look through these things. It's on professionalism and delivery, eye contact, the flow of what you're talking through, whether or not you addressed the product and marketing plans with your visuals, whether or not your supporting visuals were well done, and if it was engaging. Now, this right here talks about a portion that the audience asked questions. It does say if applicable. That you don't need to worry about. That's if it's an in-person class where you are presenting to the classmates live. The next thing is the rubric for the written portion that you are presenting. So make sure you take a look at this on the quality. Once again, if you do not have a reference list at the end of this, supported by outside resources and supported by the textbook, you will lose points. This talks about the length of the project, making sure that you're fully addressing the prompt. Please make sure that you're looking at these. That is all I have, and that will be the final thing that is due in this class on March 1st. So please reach out to me if you have any questions. I am also available during my office hours. If you're working on something and you want some help, I am here to help you. I would be happy to set up a Google Meet anytime that would work for you. So I look forward to all of your final work.